Hey guys, what's going on? Hermdo back with you. And I'm not wearing this goddamn hat anymore. It is too goddamn small and has shrunk. This is a size 8 hat. I bought it about 10 years ago. I guess my head got bigger because this thing will not fit. So into the garbage it goes. So if you got any good, links for a Red Wings hat, let me know. I got to get a new one. But anyways, let's talk about the Wings and their recent 4-game win streak. Let's go back to January 5th. Red Wings 5, Ottawa Senators 3. The context, a gritty divisional battle to kick off the winning streak. Dylan Larkin leading the charge. Alex DeBrincat scoring touch. This is a back-and-forth affair where the Wings' depth scoring finally broke through. Despite facing 37 shots, the Wings converted on their high-danger chances to outlast the Senators. This game was a turning point after a tough loss to Pittsburgh on January 3rd. The Wings adjusted their forecheck, which has led to 18 goals over this 4-game stretch. Now, we know that Pittsburgh game was brutal. They had 12 shots on net, tons of turnovers, tons of block shots. It was sloppy. It was garbage. Pittsburgh took you guys behind the woodshed and slapped you like a red-headed stepchild. It was absolutely brutal. That Pittsburgh series, that home and home, it's in the rear view now because Wings are cooking with gas. Now we got Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver stinks. They're in the bottom of their division this year. So not a big surprise. Wings beat them 1-5. Dominant performance against a high-powered Western Conference opponent, except it's not really a high-powered Western Conference opponent. But the key performance, Alex DeBrincat had 3 points. Simone Edvinsson had some good defensive play. Detroit's power play currently ranked 5th in the NHL at 24.7%. Was the difference maker here. They dictated the pace on the opening whistle, out-shooting Vancouver and forcing turnovers in the neutral zone. This game proved the Wings can run with the elite offensive teams. The emergence of young defenders like Edvinsson and Sandin Pellikka has stabilized a defensive corps that has struggled earlier in the year. Now this one, the Montreal Canadiens game, this is absolutely massive, massive, massive divisional game for the division lead with a high-powered Montreal Canadiens team with Nick Suzuki, with Cole Caulfield, with all these guys. They got some good scorers on that team. You blanked them 4-0. And one of the goals was an empty netter, but still, you came through when it mattered. They had a lot of penalties. You took advantage. That's how you do it. Lucas Raymond had a goal. Dylan Larkin had a goal and assist. John Gibson had 27 saves for the shutout. He's been an absolute wall these last few weeks. The breakdown after scoring the first period, the Wings exploded for 3 goals in the second. Their defense, led by Moritz Seider, who was plus 11 on the season, stifled Montreal, allowing only 27 shots. This was a pro win. Detroit didn't chase the game early and waited for their opportunities. Lucas Raymond and Alex DeBrincat are currently tied for the team lead with 49 points, showing a lethal scoring by committee approach. We were worried a little bit about Lucas Raymond. Seemed like he was going through a little bit of a slump. It happens from time to time. He's still a young guy. I'm not looking too much into it, but he's definitely breaking out of it. He's the hottest scorer on the Wings right now besides DeBrincat. Those two have been kicking ass. It's absolutely crazy. And then last night, a little bit scary. It was an emotional night at Little Caesars Arena as the team retired Sergei Fedorov's number. They were wearing Sergei Fedorov's number jersey in the warm-ups. It looked pretty cool. Sergei Fedorov was there. They had a little video commemorating the Red Wings. Sergei said he regretted leaving the Red Wings. He had that offer sheet drama. The way he left the Red Wings, a lot of drama, a lot of shit, a lot of interpersonal issues with him and management. It was a real shame. He went to the Anaheim Ducks for a while. He was in the Capitals for a while. He had a decent, post-Wings career, but Fedorov on the Wings, you do not win 3 Stanley Cups without Sergei Fedorov. You absolutely do not. That, to me, was so important back then. We were so spoiled in the 90s with Sergei Fedorov on the freaking Wings. Massive player, massive talent. His name is finally in the rafters after like 23 years. It's obscene. They let it happen. They let it go on this long. The guy, part of the Russian Five, absolutely monumental player for the Detroit Red Wings. There's no, Wings dynasty without Sergei Fedorov. But anyways, Andrew Kopp, who's been red hot for the Wings, he had an OT winner and 1 assist. Alex DeBrincat had a goal and 2 assists. John Gibson, 31 saves. The breakdown, Detroit looked dominant for 2 periods, carrying a 3-0 lead into the third. However, special teams nearly cost them. Carolina surged back with 2 power play goals and a shorthanded tally to force OT. The game highlighted Detroit's resilience, but also concerning lapse and late game discipline. Andrew Kopp had stepped up in the top 6 role, while John Gibson continues to be the backbone of this run, winning his 4th straight start. Now, goals for, and then this last 4 games, 4.5 per game. The season average is 3.10. Goals against, 1.75 per game. Season average is 3.04. Power play, approximately 28.5%. Season average, 24.7%. Goaltending, Gibson, 938 save percentage. Season average is 902. So they're playing up to their opponents. They're definitely showing a lot of resilience. They're showing, a lot of toughness out there. They're scoring a lot. They're playing above average. This little 4-game streak. I know it was a little bit scary in the Carolina game, but still, Carolina's a damn good team. They're leading the Metropolitan Division. I think you're tied with them for the lead in the Eastern Conference. So, still, Red Wings are a wagon right now, and they're not letting a couple bad games here and there spoil the season. But they're now in first place in the Atlantic Division. Primary catalyst has been John Gibson, who's arguably the best goalie in the league since December. He's a 13-2-0 record. If the Larkin, DeBrincat, Raymond trio continues to produce at this clip, Detroit is no longer just a playoff hopeful. They are a legitimate contender. But let's take a look. The Wings play tonight. They play the Boston Bruins tonight in TD Garden. Second half of a back-to-back with the team currently in first place in the Atlantic. Todd McClellan appears to be sticking with the combinations that have fueled this 4-0 run with one notable change in net. Here are the projected lines for tonight, January 13th. Emmett Finney, Dylan Larkin, Marco Kasper round out your first line. Alex DeBrincat, Andrew Kopp, Patrick Kane round out your second line. Van Riemsdyk, JT Compher, and Lucas Raymond on your third line. John Leonard, Reichel Rasmussen, and Mason Appleton on your fourth line. So I had AI help me out with this a little bit, so this might be, I don't know why you'd put, Lucas Raymond on your third line, but they don't even have Marco Kasper at center, so this is a little goofy. But anyways, defense, you're going to have Simone Edvinsson, Moritz Seider, Ben Sherratt with Axel Sandin Pellikka, Albert Johansson, and Jacob Bernard Docker. The starter is expected to be Cam Talbot. John Gibson's been absolutely on fire, but they got to manage his workload. The trio, DeBrincat, Kopp, and Kane has been the most productive unit in the league over the last week. DeBrincat has back-to-back 3-point games, and Patrick Kane is currently just 4 points away from passing Mike Modano for the most career points by a U.S.-born player. That's incredible. Mike Modano has held that record for a very long time. Mike Modano, former Detroit Red Wings legend, played about 15 games for us before he got his arm split, but that was too bad. Rookie Emmett Finney remains the top line with Larkin. While he's hit a bit of scoring drought, no points in 7. The coaching staff values forechecking and chemistry with his captain. Scratches Travis Hamonic and Elmer Soderblom. But yeah, let's take a look. Let's do a little bit of a scouting report on the Boston Bruins, a little bit of a game preview here. Today's matchup at TD Garden is a heavyweight battle against the Atlantic Division leaders. The Bruins are coming off a dominant week, where the Red Wings are looking to stretch their winning streak to 5 games. The Bruins are getting a major boost as their leading goal scorer, Morgan Geekie, who has 25 goals, returns to the lineup tonight after missing time for the birth of his child. The first line will be Marat Kuznetsov, Elias Lindholm, and David Pastrnak on the right wing. Casey Middlestad, Pavel Zacha, and Victor Arvidsson on the second line. Alex Steeves, Fraser Minton, and Morgan Geekie on the third line. Tanner Jeannot, Sean Curley, and Mark Kastelik on the fourth line. Defensive pairings, Jonathan Asperote and Charlie McAvoy. Nikita Zadorov, Henry Yokiharu on the second line. Mason Lorhai and Andrew Peak on the third line. Starting goalie Jeremy Swayman. His team features 2 of the most efficient power plays in the league. Here's how they stack up. Detroit, power play, they're 5th in the league. Penalty kill, 14th. Alex DeBrincat leads the team with 10 power play goals. Boston is 23.9% power play. They're 9th in the league. But their penalty kill, 84.5%. 4th in the league. So they're definitely hard to score on. That's a challenge for special teams. The shot blocking of McAvoy has been extremely good. David Pastrnak has 55 points, remains a focal point. Detroit will likely a hard match with the Sider Everson pairing against his line to neutralize his elite one-timer on the power play. Boston is coming off a massive 10-2 win over the Rangers and a 1-0 shutout of the Penguins. They're playing a very north-south game right now, using their size, Zadorov, to wear teams down. The Red Wings on their second leg of a back-to-back. Historically, this is where their expected goals dip. They rely more on Cam Talbot to keep them in. Talbot has a strong career record against Boston, .918 save percentage, which is likely why he'll be getting the nod tonight, despite Gibson's hot hand. Boston coach Marco Sturm has implemented a heavy 1-3-1 trap lately. Detroit's speed with Larkin and Raymond will need to be disciplined with dump and chase entries rather than carry the puck through the middle. Detroit, no major injuries. The roster is in full health. We discussed the scratches in Hamonic and Soderblom. Boston, Hampus Lindholm remains out but has just begun skating. Jonathan Harris, who is a defenseman, both of them are defensemen. They're out with an ankle injury. So yeah, so that's what the story is tonight. And we'll see here. We'll see how the Red Wings do. I think this is we got some money line negative. Boston Bruins are favored tonight, -125 to -131 on the money line. Puck line -1.5, +186. Over 6.5. That's where the money is. Detroit's underdog status is primarily driven by their schedule. They played an emotional overtime game last night while Boston has been resting since Sunday. Interesting, the total has gone under in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, and Cam Talbot, who historically plays well against Boston, and Jeremy Swayman in net. The under 6.5 is seeing significant action. Several projection models, like Action Network, actually leans toward Detroit at +110. Despite the fatigue, the Red Wings currently rank higher in expected goals for XGF and power play efficiency than the Bruins this season. The current odds imply a 56% win probability for Boston and a 44 to 47% probability for Detroit. Got some player props here. David Pastrnak, anytime goal scorer, +110. Moritz Seider, over 1.5 shots on goal, -145. Alex DeBrincat to record 1+ point, -160. He is currently on a multi-game point streak with 6 points in his last 2 outings. Puck drops at 7:30 p.m. tonight on TNT. So we'll take a look at that. We'll see what's going on with that. But that's all I got for you guys for right now. Wings have been absolutely tearing it up lately. All sorts of fun stuff's been happening in Red Wings land. We love to see it. Sergei Fedorov's jersey has been retired. You love to see it. Wings are kicking ass. Hopefully they keep this momentum up. I'm excited. I'm happy. I believe. But I also don't want to get too excited because you know how the last couple marches have gone. But as of right now, they're entering the new year hot as hell. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys later.